folks in here to hang out with us on a Tuesday here in lovely East Tennessee. How to develop speed, how I develop speed. It's going to be the topic. Been working on a lot of different things. Today I've been not working on speed. Today I've been working on the ISRC codes, publications, all of that good stuff for the new record. Can't wait for you guys to hear it. If you want a sneak peek and you are a Patreon member, you can go and listen to the new record on through that. It's the first pinned post on patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. And I've been listening to some Jake Workman stuff today. And man, you're going to like that. He's a fantastic bluegrass player. And he's got some great chops, some great licks. So, you know, when you fall down that rabbit hole of bluegrass, inevitably you're going to get to that speed thing. And somebody's saying, hey to Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben. I don't think Uncle Ben's in here. That said, yeah, the speed thing came up. Now I want to preface this. It's not about speed doesn't equal good. There's plenty of fast players that are terrible that I just don't like. But there's plenty of players that I do like because speed can be exciting and can be really fun, and you know nothing makes a head kind of turn over. You go, wow, where'd that come from? So for me, yeah, Billy Strings, yeah, it's another bluegrasser. For me, the idea of developing speed came from working on being clean and precision and these kind of things. You know, I have to work a lot on my legato. That's a side of my playing that's not comfortable. Like if I want to alternate pick something, it's really kind of there most of the time. You know, it's not too much of a challenge. The legato side of it's more of a challenge. You know, that kind of style of playing is more challenging for me than to pick every note. And even in some lines that you would think would be like super legato-y. You know, you know, the bouncing back and forth between the two techniques. You know, anyways, the point is like to develop speed. I never really worked on speed as something like a set of regiments, right? I think oftentimes the mentality is behind do this 15 times a day or do this all day, you know, set the metronome to this or whatever. I never really did that. I was working on fiddle tunes and things that required picking facility that were because it served the purpose of the music, and bluegrass tends to be fast. So, you know, that's how I developed that facility. And so when it went to electric guitar, the alternate picking was kind of ready to go. And so then working on legato, working on sweeping and tapping and all these other sides of fast technical playing. They took a lot of effort, but I applied the same mentality to them. They have to serve a purpose. Everything's got to serve a purpose of the music. You can tell when fast playing is musical. Steve Morse, Eric Johnson, John Petrucci, Al Di Meola, so on and so forth, John McLaughlin, right? And you can tell when fast music is not very musical. And I'm not going to name any names, but we all know who we don't like when it comes to playing fast. You want to play faster. It's like how this topic is how I developed my speed. And the challenges that arise with playing fast, it depends on the type of thing that you're talking about. Now, I've got the old cheater headband on today because I've been working on some tapping. And I've been working on connecting pentatonics through a tapped scenario. So let's just take something. If I'm seeing a pentatonic, B minor pentatonic. And I'm really trying to maintain a relaxation. I always get a little more tense when I feel like the camera's on and I'm not playing music and I'm just giving an example. I always tend to flub when I'm giving examples versus when I'm actually playing. So if we're going to take a pentatonic thing, the natural way that a lot of us would play pentatonic would be, in this kind of shape. You can connect them in all the different positions that you would do your pentatonic boxes. So the next thing I'm going to try to do is like extend those out. Make those 3-note per string pentatonics. So you have so if I'm going to take those in those 3 notes per string, it's just like outlining whether you're going to start on the 7, 7, 1, 3, 1, or you're going to do like maybe 4, 5, 4, 5, 7. So that can move around in octaves, right? And then you can add a flat 5 blues rock thing. I'm doing the same thing every octave. Sorry, one more time. So the next thing after that is I'm going to tap these. I'm going to start adding notes on top of it. So if we take the pentatonic and we're playing root, let's take that one that's like root, minor third, 4, 5, 7. You get a nice sound. Like I go. And you can move that. Yeah, sorry. Right? Take those in 3 different positions, right? And so you can, from that, start expanding it all over the fretboard. Different connections, different connective tissue. This was like a nice little Tim Henson one that I found. So I've heard Guthrie play a lot that were like these. You've probably heard me play those types of things a lot. So you have, the Tim had one that was good that it came in like this. I think I had that thing. Whoop. Okay. So at the top of that one's kind of fun. Tim did like that. I thought it was kind of fun to use both fingers, So it's at the third finger right there, right? So this comes in handy. I don't have to really worry about the muting, right? So we have right here. So when I'm developing speed, it's always about what kind of purpose can it serve greater than just being something that I'm executing as a standalone event. By that, I mean, I'm not just going to sit and play and then stop and then go back to playing something else. So if you notice, a lot of the things that I work on and the things I want to talk about today is like getting that speed thing to sit within a musical context. It's like part 2 of really how I develop my speed. The how I develop my speed thing is really easy. It's just play a lot of bluegrass. And we can actually, let me just edit. Let me see if I can edit the title while I'm doing this. So playing fast, and how I developed speed. We'll save that. Okay. So, why are you afraid to say Herman Lee's name out loud? Me? I'm not. Herman Lee. You say it 3 times in the mirror and he appears. Herman Lee, Herman Lee, Herman Lee, right? I never really listened to Herman Lee or Dragon Force or any of that stuff. It's cool. I remember Fire and Flames coming out. But it was, there's a lot of augmentation in that playing. I think Herman is a fantastic player and fantastic guy, but he, there's a lot of things that are a little bit cleaner on the record than they are in real life. You take that information, do with it what you want. But I think Herman's a great player. I never heard anything that like made my ears perk up and want to learn it. And I think that's a fair assessment because that doesn't say that Herman's bad or that doesn't say that Herman's good. It's just stuff never really made my ears perk up. It was always, to me, guys that made my ears perk up tended to be live players in the aspect of like a Steve Morse, right? Or an Al Di Meola. And just crispy clean with without software assistance, maybe is the words I'm looking for. And I don't mean that disrespectful. Whatever, take with that what you will. It's just that's the kind of things that made me happy as listening to, like live performances of Eric Johnson or live performances of Sean Lane. Like Sean was one that I sat and I was like, oh my God, Guthrie Govan. Obviously you guys know that I really love Guthrie Govan's playing. And a lot of what I do is like a bastardized version of what he's doing from a tapping standpoint. It's like I liked the way he would use a lot of diatonic stuff and get it to sound wide and bubbly, and that's where a lot of these like wider arpeggio things, those kind of things come from. I got a big long hair there. Those kind of things. And then they can be extended into that 3-note per string stuff too. You know, it was those players that really made me excited. Guthrie also had that, you know, those kind of things. What was the big lick? What was it? It's something to that effect, right? So that lick was really inspiring to me because it was a very inside sounding lick, but it also was like so wide. It's like, wow, that sounds like a freaking keyboard or something, you know? So that lick was one of those like, whoa, that changed my life as far as tapping. Like hearing that, I might have well been, first time I heard that, I was like, holy crap, what in the world is this stuff, you know? But the aspect of playing fast was kind of more, let's see, more rooted in this thing, you know? Some of that delay off. All that kind of, you know, bluegrassy, chicken picking kind of stuff is really where the source of my strength comes from. Kevin Edgman's got something here that's interesting. Kevin says speed requires you to start slowly and precisely and repeat it 10,000 times. Fluidity will come with practice. I want to expand on that idea. Kevin, I would say this: you can practice slowly 10,000 times, but if you never attempt it at speed, it'll never come. It'll never be there. So for me, practicing at speed and buffing out the problems was really a big part of my playing. Like if I have a lick that's, I don't know. I'll find a good one now. There we go. So if we were going to have something that was like something built around that bluegrass kind of C shape. Like if we had something like that, I would practice it at there's 193. Like you have to so walking and running, Murray's got it. You have to practice running. You know what I'm saying? So like just to blast out some 16th notes at 193, that's cooking, right? That's cooking with Crisco. It's moving along for a Tuesday at lunchtime. But you have to practice playing those things fast. And also what will happen is your vocabulary will adjust with those lightning tempos. They have to be simplified, right? You might be able to play something more complicated, slower, you know. So I had to mutate the lick to get it into the 190 territory. It's a lot harder to play quick, right? Other things that are hard to play quick would be things that cross multiple string sets. So even then, I'm mutating it and adding the hybrid. That's almost making it all legato lick. Yeah, so it's like a totally different sound too, right? Then, so here's a really great Jake Workman lick. Let's put it on 193. That's a really killer lick. He does it in rawhide. I think it comes after right. However he gets out of it. Right. So that lick that's fast, it's built to be played fast. So when I play it a little bit slower, like it's a little bit easier to play jumping in and out, right? But that right there, that can be cooked. Let's cook it at 200. Woo, that's 208. Can we do it at 208? Really, it's really 208. 16's at 208. I'm toast. And also, let's clarify this. Let's blow the little myth out of the water. Anybody that says they're alternate picking past 208 is probably lying. I will say this. I'll also say, you see, alternate picking at 300 BPM, at 700 BPM, fly to the bumblebee. It's like, no, if you slow it down and it just sounds like, it's not real. Like, it's not. Like, I've seen the fastest alternate pickers on earth. I've been in a room with them. You know, it's like I've traded solo. Guthrie Govin's one of the cleanest, fastest freaking alternate pickers on the planet. And that dude's not playing at 215. That's not real. You know, it's not real. Alternate picking at those numbers aren't real. John Petrucci, he's not alternate picking at 215. It's just not real. Those are the speeds where it starts shutting down. Now, if you just trill a note, I'm sure you get somebody who can play it at 215. Like, but not playing something, right? So, and again, let's say this: being clean is more impressive and has the illusion of playing fast. Let's kick that metronome down to like 170, which is still moving, but I can play there all day long. Yeah, that's easy. I can even build lines. Like at 178, that's no problem. You know what I mean? It's like that now is like we can play music there and have creative lines, right? So again, it's like these aren't meant to be performances or whatever, but like just the idea that like the technique is available and how I developed the technique. And I want to dig into the chat here and talk to you guys real quick on answer some questions, some Q&A type of things. I see some great comments. Francis is in the military. We say train as you fight. If you want to floor it, live, you got to do it in the shed period. Yeah, you got to train as you fight. I like that. You know. Ilya's got something here. He's saying how you manage to see chords and everything, what needs to be played at those speeds. That's right. Like, you've got to be able to see the chords. Like, if I'm going to play rawhide, I know that goes to E. And then it goes to A. And now I'm going to go to D. And then to G. So we're going to go again, E to A, D, G. So we got E, A, and I'm working around the thirds, right? So I'm saying the D, to G, again E, A, D, G, back to C. So seeing the chords is the most important thing. All right. So I'm still seeing this. You can hear all the chord changes. Right? And so to me, it's like, it's like you guys are kind of honing in on a couple of different things where you say, do you think it's target notes more than playing the parent scale? Yeah, I'm not really thinking in scales. So like if I played halftime over that, play halftime. One, two, three, four. So I'm seeing through each one. And that's it, 180. Yeah. So, you know, it's like you're just kind of seeing all of it, right? And to me, this is a very redneck section of the show. But to me, it's like this is the stuff that allows me to play the shreddy things. All this stuff's what makes it all really connected in my mind. So Ilya's saying, can you please talk about that seeing chords on the fretboard and connecting them? Are you seeing the third only, or are you seeing the whole shape? I'm trying to see all of it, right? So if I see B minor, I'm seeing as much of B minor as I can. And I'm seeing the scales, yes. I'm seeing the arpeggios. seeing all of that kind of stuff. But most importantly, I'm trying to think of it as connective tissue. If I've got to go to E, I'm landing on that third of E. To the 5. Right. I mean, it's knowing the fretboard map and being like, okay, here's another idea. Is like if I'm seeing B, I'm not just looking at it through one finger. B is not just that. It could be all of them. And if it's on this finger, I'm going to play in this direction. If I'm going to be playing in that direction, I'm going to have B down here. Right? Right? So it's like knowing that these are going to move. Right? Does that help you? Does that help you, Ilya? Kind of understand? Russell's saying, do you practice with the metronome? I always have my metronome here. I know you guys probably can't hear it when it's way back here, but it's, it's here. And it's not going in your monitor. It's just too far away from the microphone. Good to see you, Lucas. Hope everything's well. So Chris is saying, when you practice, do you practice more with your amp on or off? It doesn't matter to me, but in general, if I'm practicing and I'm not learning something, like I'm intent with practice, I have to have my amp on because I'm practicing with music. Like I'm practicing to something, right? Like if I'm going to practice one of my new tunes, right? That's a thing, right? Like that's fine if I'm gonna play it like that, but in general, I'm gonna kick it off and it's gonna be with the album. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, we got something wrong with the. Sorry, that's messed up in OBS. Sorry about that. I don't know why that messed up. Let's just quit that. Too much practicing with no amp makes your muting kind of bad. I could, yeah. Let's check why that track messed up. I don't know why that did that. And that's going to be upsetting. Let me test it again to see if something's wrong with that. And if something's wrong with my signal chain, I'll have to fix it at another point. Let's just see here. Make sure that the track's not messed up. I think the track might be messed up. I may have to do that again. There it is. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. See what I mean? Like I'm going to practice with the music. So like if I'm going to practice, I'm not really practicing with nothing, right? Because I intend, like, I guess maybe practice and rehearsal can be two different things. I kind of got to where I'm like, I'm either going to learn something and work on it and acquire it, right? And that's usually a slow process. Then practicing and performance kind of go together, right? Like those are the kind of things that I think of. And like I have to practice with the music that I'm going to be playing. So yeah. Can you please play some Smoke on the Water? I guess. Oh, it's in G. Axolots is saying, in my 30s, I found Troy Grady actually started to make progress, but you can spend hours and hours with a metronome and not make any progress. Yeah, for sure. Like you have to be practicing this stuff with music. The end game is to be playing with music so you can hear the line that you want to play in your head and it be available, and you not have to go and just work up everything. Like you want to be able to improvise freely with the tools that you've practiced, right? So learning is not practicing. Learning is the acquiring. It's the acquisition of it. Practicing is the familiarizing and executing it at tempo. And then rehearsal and practice kind of overlap a little bit. Russell says, do you write down what to practice each day? Absolutely not. That's for nerds. I'm not going to do that. That's for dorks. I'm not going to do that dorky ass stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I think that's cool. If you need to do it, that's cool. That's not something I do. I'm like, I need to work on something today. Let me find something that's inspiring. And if you follow me on Instagram, you saw me working on the Stairway to Heaven solo this week. I played that solo for 20 years, but it's like I'm always trying to improve and find and do something to improve it, not just that, just my playing in general. So I was like looking for something to be inspiring. Like I said, I came across that Tim Henson Polyphia video, and I saw that little tap lick he did, and I was like, oh, that's a fun way to get into it, right? Because it's not just him starting a lick, it's like the way he comes in and then going into the lick, right? Let me put the mute back on because that really helps. Right, kind of that it's neat to go. Have all that together. Was it hard to learn Van Halen tunes? Absolutely. I think it's still hard to learn Van Halen tunes because they have so much swing and so much vibe. It's so much energy that you're trying to capture that's like so different from anything else. Can you play Money for Nothing? I don't really remember it. That's not right, but it's something to that effect, right? I don't know the lick, but I know it's in that position. What do you think the problem is when I can alternate pick effortlessly one night, but 2 days after that, and I completely get lost and can't alternate pick like that anymore? I think it's consistency and application. Like, are you playing along with tunes in your regular musical diet that require alternate picking? Or are you treating alternate picking like something you're going to work on? Like, I'm going to work on this alternate picking and then I'm not going to mess with it. Like, it's got to be something that you play with. Like, my tunes require alternate picking because it's the way the tune is written, right? So it's like, if I'm going to play Forgotten Secrets, it's like that section is alternate picked. It's like I'm definitely using this technique in my everyday vocabulary of music. So it tends not to go away because it's how I'm playing the guitar all the time. It's my preferred method of travel. across the guitar. My legato is not my preferred method of travel, so I have to keep honing that and keep working on that. So that's kind of my thoughts on that thing. It's again, it's like if you want to have a technique available, it has to be applied to music, and you have to find a song that you like that requires some alternate picking. It's like, is it what is it? Yeah. It's like that thing. It's like whatever that John Petrucci thing is. It's like that requires alternate picking, and it's not like you're gonna just pick up alternate picking one day because you like that song and then you'll just blast it out. Like, the reason I can alternate pick that is I've spent my whole life playing bluegrass and alternate. I've got my Dreadnought right here next to me. It's like the alternate picking is built in from those aspects. And yeah, this is the Groove Gear mute. I see somebody asking about that. It's fine. It's not even on the guitar right now. It's just muting out the headstock, the overtones. It's not really that, right? Johnny Layton says, picking like EJ and Yngwie was easy for me to learn, but learning to cross pick for me has been much more. It's real hard, man. Cross picking is very, very hard, especially if you're going to have, 4-note per string. Four-note per string is really hard. That's the that's that thing, right? Cross picking is really, really hard. So here we go. Daniel is saying, I've always depended on my slides and pull-offs. Now I feel like when I'm starting over the picking speed, what would be tips picking process? I mean, like, find music that you really like, Daniel, that is quick and play along with the tunes. Like, my advice and the way that I learned how to play fast was by playing along with songs. So it's like, if I need to slow songs down, slow them down, but I'm not going to slow them down too far because I need to feel what that speed is like. So I'll play fast and let it be rough around the edges, and I'll consistently polish it at that tempo. That's the way you got to do it. It's not something you work into. You have to drive at that tempo. You have to just throw caution to the wind and just go for it. So how did you come up with the main theme to Forgotten Secrets? That was actually inspired by some Disney music. There's like a little motif like that. It's in the I can't remember. It's not exactly that motif, but it's something to that effect. That's at the stained glass scene in Beauty and the Beast, the Disney one, and that opening sequence is really great animation. Like, I really like it. I like the way it looks. I like the colors and stuff. It's really cool. And I was hitting that, and I was like, "Ooh, that'd make a fun fiddle tune." And I kind of mutated the motif, right? Like, it's not the same thing, but I mutated enough. That's where the initial inspiration was from. It's like, whoa, that was like kind of more of a fiddle tune kind of thing. And it was like like that kind of thing. And then I was like, ooh, what if that was a shred thing? And it had kind of this chunky intro. And that slowly became like a really signature tune for me, and it's like always in my set list. Like, we always do forgotten secrets. It's kind of always got to be a thing, right? That one in Junktown. Right. Kind of adding some of that Steve Morse. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's kind of where it came from. That's where the main theme for that came from. Mobius says starting licks on upstrokes help my alternate picking. Yeah, I mean, shoot, finding ways is the answer. It's not really, this is why I'm very cautious about saying how to play fast. This is always how I developed it, right? Because you can do things in a different way and it'd be more beneficial than the way that I would do it. I'm finding a different way to do it. It's really about spending time at those tempos and feeling what that's going to be like, right? That's what makes the difference. Chris is saying I should have studied bluegrass when I was a kid. I mean, you can study it now. You'll be good. Any suggestions on reducing forearm elbow aches and alternate picking aside from anti-aging remedies? I don't know about the anti-aging thing. It's like I hate the idea that like it's not going to be there forever, and that kind of goes for all of us. But I don't know, being stretched out, being comfortable, not over exuding yourself. If you're going to do a lot of intense guitar playing, maybe you don't, you're not going to do a lot of other things with your hands. I don't know, just protecting your ligaments and hands as best you can. I don't really know the answer to that. I wish it did. Matthias says, are you using the same setup for all your guitars you have? Are you in shred zone? No, this is just the stock Sir setup. The only thing different is I put an extra spring in. So I have two, like a V, and then one down the middle. And then my string gauge is 9-46, so it's a hybrid set. But the heights and everything are pretty much like a stock Sir. My guitar tech likes his action a little lower than I like mine. I think Ben likes his action just a little lower than I like mine. Barry says, Andy, if you can hit 208 alternate picks, what do you reckon the upper limit is for economy picking? I mean, at some point, it's just going to sound like this. Right? I mean, it's like you can say that that's something, but it's not. I think it's more about what can you do musically. It's less about a number. Like, who really cares what it sounds like? Here's the thing, Barry. Put on a MIDI track at like 225. It doesn't sound cool. It just sounds like... It sounds like a bird chirping. It's like there is a negative return on speed, in my opinion, at least. It's got to sound exciting, but not stupid, right? It doesn't need to sound like a bird chirping or like something. Like there is definitely a negative return where something gets so fast it's no longer. It just sounds dumb, funny. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound exciting. It doesn't sound like a guy playing it. Hit the like button. Yeah, everybody hit that like button. Why don't you? Go in there. There's 117 viewers and there's only 50 likes. That math ain't mathing. You know what I'm saying? So just take you a second, smash the old like button. It'll do you right. Greg Goldberg's in the house. My man, Greg. If you guys ever need any guitar gear, make sure to hit up AMS, American Musical Supply. It'll treat you right. They do a good job over there. Any plans to join the Martin Miller session, man? I'd love to. Martin is a great friend. I'm not in Germany often, so there's that difference of where I'm at and where he's at thing, right? Ian says I started playing some bluegrass a while back. It's really helped. Hayes Griffin's YouTube channel is great. Yeah, that's a fact. Greg, by the way, Greg Goldberg, I've got all the footage from Shipwrecked, so I'm making a video on that. I've just got to edit it down, right? James says, hey, Andy, just curious how and where you are resting your picking hand on the bridge. It kind of moves. as I'm down here on the bass side of things, look in this camera right here. As I'm down here on the bass side, as I play, it'll go, it kind of, I'm just, you know, what string set do I need to be on? John is saying Sean Lane is my hero. Man, and Sean's incredible. Trevor Lukather said, most important lesson Dad taught him, can you sing your solo? I mean, that's it, right? Can you sing it? And I feel like this is singable. Right. Especially the solo that's I do some tricks to spice it up. Yeah. Some spicy taps. Yeah. Okay, hang on. Cross-picking is hard, but it's thanks to you that it's been made accessible. Oh, cheers, man. It's a great sounding technique, man. It really is. It's like I love the sound of cross picking. You know. That's mixing some cross picking with some hybrid, right? Pretty, right? And also, like, there's the more like classic grass kind of. Right, kind of nice. Can you play any Guthrie stuff? Not off the top of my head. I don't remember it. I don't remember it all. Sorry, man. I don't remember it, man. I'd say I can't remember it. Again, it's like I haven't played along with that stuff 10 years. Andrea says, it also feels like having the protruding palm bone on the strings for playing the high strings on or off makes it more problematic. Yeah, I've got it sitting on the saddle, you know. Guitar Amp says, did you receive a Troy Grady magnet? No, I haven't. This one says, hello, Andy. Have you ever had a Dunlop strap lock fail on you? No, it's usually more like if the button has come unthreaded. Because I like these strap locks. I think they're good. You know, that's a really great strap lock. You know. Yeah, that thing's in there. I like those. Your playing is inspiring. Cheers. Yeah. Dusty is saying this. Yeah, that's actually true, Dusty. Dusty says Andy was on Troy Grady's segment. It was funny because it seems like Troy was trying to pigeonhole my technique, but I made adjustments on the fly. Yeah, man. So like Troy it was really interesting to hang out with him because, you know, he thought we would get together and, you know, we've filmed a lot of stuff together and we're good friends. I really love Troy. And I think he thought there would be a scenario that he would work me into that I wouldn't be able to pick my way out of, which was fun to kind of be like, can you pick this? Yep. Can you pick that? Yep, probably. It's like, that was really fun. Yeah, it was really, really a fun time. And we've hung out in Knoxville. I've been up to New York and filmed some stuff with him up there, Can you play the Star Wars Cantina song? No, I don't know that off the top of my head. I need to learn it, I need to learn it for sure. I don't know. I'm playing the wrong key too. Is it in C? I don't know. So I got to find. I can try and do it from memory. It's stupid. Dustin says, "How do you incorporate it into your solos, especially when they're not in the original, like Life is a Highway? And what about slower stuff?" I mean, I don't really try to think about technique, right? I'm trying to think about like just playing a line that's really good. It's to me, that's the thing that's get your technique to a point to where you're not thinking about it like technique and you're thinking about the line that's going to be played. That's really how I develop, and work on the shreddier stuff or the flashier stuff, is get it to where it's not sticking out. It's just nice and smooth and it's integrated into your vocabulary, right? It says, "I love the way you play Dreams." Man, I don't remember that. I don't want to play anything and it not be good. Guitar says, "Those Troy Gray videos are you great." Here's some Van Halen for you. Right, there's a little bit of Van Halen for it, yeah, or like a. Right, okay. It says, "Man, you're an amazing musician. So much control over the instrument. Anything or lines from other musos that you have trouble playing?" I mean, I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, like, I can't sit here and recall. It's very evident that I can't remember everything, but it's not very often that something is a roadblock as far as technique goes. Like, it may take me a minute or two to get it right, but in general, my technique serves me well. Man, Ben, I appreciate that. Let's do the lesson, bro. Let's do it. Let's get that lesson. Yeah, Van Halen forever, man, for sure. So yeah, all in all, man, I think the overarching message here is that technique is, and how I learned to develop my music was obviously playing a lot of fiddle tunes and a lot of bluegrass, but more importantly, playing along with songs. So if I was after a certain technique in a song, it wouldn't just be about that one song. I would listen to all kinds of music that would have those same kind of things in it. Some classical stuff is some real great technique building type stuff. If you're wanting to alternate, so on and so forth. But like that kind of thing is really, really clean alternate pick lines that are very, very articulate and bouncing between strings and stuff. So it's like if I wanted to learn that John Petrucci thing, like that, those are connected. Mozart's Marriage of Figaro and that, John Petrucci thing, the Universal Mind or whatever it is, it's all connected, right? It's all got the idea of the mechanic is the same, right? Do you mute at all with right hand when picking? It depends if I want that flavor, right? Like if I want the flavor of, or it just depends if I want the tone. Again, making the musicality the forefront and like what I'm going to do with the tone is what matters. Yeah, that's it. And muting, yeah, man, that's it, right? Would a thumb pick help you play faster? I mean, not me. It's going to slow me down. Thumb pick's not what I want. Oh, I need this flat pick to help me do what I need to do. Let's do some housekeeping here. And, man, everybody, just take 2 seconds, hit the like button if you haven't already. If you like what we do, obviously YouTube is very free content for everybody, and I don't mind making it. I love it. I love you guys, and I love hanging out with you guys. If you want to show any support for the channel, go to Patreon, throw $5 in. It's like a cup of coffee. For a cup of coffee a month, you can feed a starving musician in East Tennessee, right? It's like that kind of thing. Yeah, if you really do like what we do, think about going over to Patreon, throwing $5 in. I make content all the time, man. Like Instagram, YouTube, I'm always blasting it out. So, if you want to show some support, you're buying me a beer, if you think of it that way, it goes farther than you think. So yeah, that's patreon.com/anywoodmusic. I've got some big news as far as this year's guitar extravaganza that is the Woodshed Guitar Experience. I'm even wearing the hoodie right here. Look at that. It's nice. Real nice, Clark. Real nice. The Woodshed Guitar Experience this year, we will be having Steve Morse, Tom Quell, David Beebe, Jake Workman's going to come and do this bluegrass stuff in person. Ariel Poson's going to be there, which I'm really excited about. If you guys don't know Ariel, he's an amazing slide guitarist. Amazing. Great singer. Great dude. We've got Fluff coming. If you like riffs, gear, and beards, Fluff is going to be there. Man, definitely pop on over. Chuck just put the link up. We've got about 40 spots left available. We limit the attendance, and I'm now really announcing some full lineup type of stuff. It's woodshedguitarexperience.com. You don't have to pay the full amount all at once. You can do a payment plan on all that kind of stuff. Yeah, some good stuff happening with the Woodshed Guitar Experience. It's going to be really great. A lot of good manufacturers going to be there. A lot of good gear is going to be there. All that kind of stuff. We're going to set up the big Van Halen wet, dry, wet rig and let everybody play through it, which is going to be really an amazing adventure in and of itself. Yeah, it's going to be great. So with that said, we got a new record coming out. If you're a Patreon member, you can listen to the record right now. Outside of that, andywoodmusic.com will be where you can sign up for the email list that will allow you first access to our tiers and our record and all the things we're going to be doing. Ian says, have you seen EJ's performance of Cliffs Dover at the Ellsworth Theater with G3? Unbelievable. Of course. I mean, I don't know which one that is, but I've seen them all. I get on YouTube and just look up EJ videos for days. So EJ is one of my Mount Rushmore players. So I've stolen plenty, and I owe him a lot of residual. I owe him royalties. Maybe that's it. Man, if you if you're thinking about coming to the Woodshed Guitar Experience, man, it's worth it, right? It's the thing where you'll come in. It's 4 days. Your price is your lodging. It's all your food, alcohol, everything. We do giveaways. Be a lot of good gear that we're giving away. And then, of course, you're going to be with us for 4 days and a very limited learning environment. It's fantastic. It's really, really great. This is year 5. I can't even believe that. We've had some great players there and a lot of great experiences. And this year is going to be one for the books, man, with Steve Morse, Ariel Posen, Jake Workman. Jeez, man. Freaking Tom Quill's coming back. Excited to get him over from England. Dave Beebe's coming. It's going to be great. Great lineup. Tomo's going to be there. Y'all know Tomo. He's a funky individual. The old man from Berkeley, Japanese guitar master, Tomo Fujita. You're going to have to come and hang out with Tomo and us. It's going to be amazing. Really, really great lineup this year. Really excited, man. So with that said, technique has to serve the purpose. If you want to master technique, you have to play along with songs. That's the way. That is the way. It's not a matter of hold your pick like this and you can do it, or do this 15 times and you can do it. It's got to be in your vocabulary. It's got to be in your diet. If you want to play fast, you need to be playing along with records that have fast playing, and you need to be going for it. You don't need to be just sitting there with your metronome and not have any music going. This is how I learned how to do it, man. It's really is the truth. It's how I learned to do it. I'm just going to sit here and do it all day. That's what I do, right? So with that said, guys, thank you as always. And I hope you have a really fantastic week. Hope everyone has a very productive week, and you get your playing leveled up. And we if it's something that you want to take part in, we got 600 something videos on my Patreon and a weekly live masterclass. I'm going to go see Greg Koch this week. My friend is in town, and I can't wait to see him play. It's going to be really good for my Knoxville folks. I'll see you at the open chord because he's going to be there. It's going to be great. So with that said, I'll see y'all next time.